All right, so before we get into the Hacienda clip, I want to play these two clips from two different Skylines. FaZe's only played this map 5 times. They're 4-1. They beat LA Thieves twice on it, Falcons, and then a Boston right here. And I forgot their one loss on this map. I forgot who it's to, but I'm gonna play you two different examples, and this is just showing you because like everyone thinks I'm like or not everybody, but like some people are like, you're like a FaZe D-Rock. I'm not even a fan of any team. I need to show you guys the example. So this is against I should play the Actually, I'm gonna play this one first, and then I'm gonna play the other one second. So this is against Boston in the Skyline, and this is them purposely, not on purpose, saying, yeah, we're gonna lose the spawn on purpose, but this is them showing no respect to the people they're playing against, just pushing shit and completely messing up their P2 rotation, which made this map way closer. If they just like held on P2, they literally would have had like an 100-point lead, and you know. But so on this on this P2 right here, so they have like full control. They have them all dead, and then MC Chow's here, and then a BZ Chow's here too. And I'm telling you right now, they would not do this if they're playing Optic against a Cloud9. Any team that they had like somewhat respect for, like, you know, they could probably do some on this map. They look at this. So MC dies, and then a BZ flies, and he dies. And that was just a complete like heat check. That was a complete disrespectful. Like, you know, granted, MC probably called up maybe one, and then like a BZ tells that he dies. Next thing you know, the hallway's completely given up. Next thing you know, they ruin the whole rotation, and then they spawn out, and they get flipped. So that's that example, okay? Now I'm gonna play the example from the LA Thieves game, which is quite a while ago, but you know, they haven't played Skyline like all the time, you know. They've only played it 5 times. So, this is on P1 going into P2, and they get all the kills, okay? They get all the kills. They know they're going to have LA Thieves spawning over here, you know? They know they have a spawn over here. You might see one guy push on the AC, but the second that one guy dies, take a look at the rest of them. The rest of them are like, we need to make sure we don't lose this because we're playing a good team. We need, like, you know, we have to secure this. So like a Beast is in kitchen, Simps up top this time. He dies, they get the trades, and they're playing back this time. Granted, it's like completely different personnel. Last time it was MC and then like a BZ. The point is, they're holding. They're holding lanes. They're not getting overly aggressive. They're staying. Unlucky that number one dies because on the hill it doesn't really matter. But they're holding the side. They're not getting overly aggressive. Granted, it was like kind of different positions, but it's like the closest example I could find to them having like rotation on the P2, and they're holding this motherfucker, you know. So that's just that. Take of that what you will, but that's just my opinion on that. So I'm gonna break down the first 2 hills of this Hacienda and show you how bad FaZe plays this, which is like completely mind-blowing because I've seen them play this map before and it seemed like they had a pretty good grasp on it, and I'm not sure if it's like the thing that happens to a lot of teams when you start to put your focus in other maps. Like, you see now they're trying to expand their hardpoint map pool, get good at Vault now, and I'm not sure if like putting extra time into that is now taking something away from that. All that's kind of made no sense to me, but at the same time, it actually does make sense when like it happens. Like the teams, like you see teams be super good at something but really bad at something, then they go to get good at that bad thing, and then it makes them get worse at the other things because they're not putting as much attention to it. I just assumed if like you know the map, granted these maps evolve and everything, but I don't know. Anyways, so they get 4 down here. And I'm actually mind blown because you get 4 down, you're still technically on your side spawn, so they're going to spawn on this side. And on this hill on P1, they've had to play this map enough times, watch enough VOD to know. This is not hindsight cheese, by the way. especially when you're not pushed up on their side, they're going to spawn there. It's almost like control. In Hacienda defense, if you're not pushed up past this part, then they're always going to spawn like in like P2. But the second like you push up further, you spawn deeper. And it's essentially the same thing for hard point, but you have to have a guy obviously blocking like this side. And this is just like off the beginning when like they just all spawned up. So they would get those spawns, and they played this map enough times to know it's not hindsight. So they get a 4 clean down, so they know boss is gonna spawn up. I'm not expecting them to like time it perfectly when like the deaths happen. So like as you see, 3 of them spawn there, but then number 6 pushes past the section, so now he's like too far, so it's not gonna spawn him there. It's gonna spawn him deeper, exactly like it would in control. So I don't expect them to maybe read that, because you have to actually keep track of like kill this guy this time, how many seconds, you know, all that probably not being thought of. Point is, you know, majority of them are spawning P2 side. I am mind blown that no one picked this up at all. I'm actually super mind blown that no one picked this up at all. Not one person. We got number 7 staring over there. Like, no one knows where they're spawning.
Everything.
And I expected number 5 to like go pick this up, because like even in ranked, bro, I watch this map being played in like the COD League. I watch the spawns. I swear to God, like I go into like an 8s or going to ranked, I know exactly where they're spawning. It's a little bit chaotic when like it's in the middle of P1 and there's people everywhere, but this is as organized as spawns you're gonna get, getting a 4 down like in the first 20 seconds when you still have control like the backside. So this P2 side, surprised no one picked it up. Very surprised. Number 5, I don't even know where he is. Okay, so he's up top. So he goes up in office, and he's in the corner of office. Okay, so he's actually in top mid. Jeez. So he's actually top mid, laying down. I don't know what makes them think that they're gonna get like this side spawn. And even if they think they got the fence spawn, I don't know what makes them think that they're gonna wrap around. Like, if they spawn like, there's no way they would spawn patio when originally, like, Draza was, like, right here. Like, there's no way they would spawn behind them. Like, and he's already back here. So it's like, there's no way they would spawn anywhere that should require him to look that way. They're all spawning P2 side. There might be some people back spawn that maybe take routes, but at least 1 or 2 is going this way. Nobody like picks 8, like just briefly looks at it, but never even stares at it again. They're all just kind of looking in like directions where they shouldn't be. I'm not sure if they just haven't played this map in a long time, but to see this level of confusion on a clean 4 dead, knowing that you still had control of this side, and knowing where they're going to spawn, and no one just picked up P4. I'm surprised when they got that 4 down, nobody just went right to P4 and just sat on the heady or was up on the rock throwing some shoulders. And then after you get some kills, like you literally push through and flip the spawns. Like, it could all be that simple. Like, this whole P4 side could be covered, and now number 5, all he has to do is just like sit in the window, sit hall, because getting the 4 down, yeah, you could have them spawning there, but then after they spawn up, you need to push up. You need to take space. That way, when you start getting another wave of kills, your second wave of kills, then you start flipping them. But nobody, like, they kind of like turtled. Like, the directions they're watching are so confusing. Like, so confusing. It looks like no one knows where anyone's going to spawn. We got this guy looking here, this guy looking here, this guy looking there. 3 guys looking in the same direction. Boston's over on the side.
Break in Atlanta FaZe just triple stacked it. That is their way of
I'm super surprised to see this level of unawareness. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very surprised. But then Boston's able to sneak, and they give them the spawns essentially. Actually, because fuck number 6 just like fuck this shit, I'm out of here.
You do get the kills, however.
But the problem that FaZe has been having on this map in this game, even when they played LA Thieves on it as well, honestly, there's times where people could break it. It's not impossible to break, but if you're a really good team, it should be like virtually impossible. It should be like a full 60 hill if you have control of the back and the hill. It really honestly should be like it's a pretty easy hill to at least get 40 if you have a full setup already. And Atlanta FaZe have been broken on this map, or when they have, they again broken on this map. They're pretty good at breaking it, I'm not gonna lie, but like they're good at breaking it at the beginning, but like in the middle after they lose it, it's pretty hard for them to get it back. And they got broken on this hill multiple times this map, and we're gonna go through every single one, which is the point of the video. So for this one, I'm gonna play it in half speed because we're gonna go through this slowly. Gonna go this slowly so I can talk while it's going and not pause it, even though I'm still probably gonna pause it. So they have full control. They have everybody in the back here. So they pick up Purge. So now, that's the one guy that was in the spawn. There's 12 seconds left. They have full control of P2. You would think Atlanta FaZe against Boston. Curtains, like freehold, free cash, going up 70 or at least 60 to 14, something. So at the beginning of this, when like P1's still active, I don't blame a BZ for watching the fence line because at this point in time, it's still a possibility for someone to take this route, aka the guy off P1 or like the next guy off spawn could easily take this route. But you're going to see how this plays out. So that one already happened as I was freaking yapping. So I guess slow isn't actually good enough. But this guy shouldn't be able to sneak by. I understand. So there's a lot of unfair. There might be some unfair criticism, but just the overall consensus of not being able to hold P2 multiple times against Boston when you're at the level of FaZe in this game is unacceptable. But I can understand Simp here because I'm assuming he has an SMG and not an AR, and he's trying not to get picked. So he's like throwing a shoulder, but the one shoulder he throws, Three's able to make it by, and he doesn't see him. And now he goes to check like, oh, fuck, at that point, number 5's already dead. But I'm confused why, like number 5 was essentially, they're basically watching it, but like 3 is able to like get the gap. Like a number 7, honestly, should have had eyes on this the whole time. Like he should have had eyes on this the whole time. Even if you stand there where you don't have a complete visual on the bottom, but you have visual on the cross at the top, at least something. But he threw a shoulder to where he couldn't even like see anything. And like 3 was able to make it by. Like right there, he's like kind of there, but then he like completely gives it up, and then 3 sneaks by, and then he's like, I think he like a knee slid across or something. Actually, I could see him right there. Let's see how his movement is. Okay, so it actually looks like he knee slid there. So he's sliding. Yeah, he slid across. That's why. Okay. So he actually did slide across. So that's why he got horrible timing on it. Don't really think he had to do that, especially since nobody was there. I'm thinking, honestly, number 6 having the spawn, he could have pulled out an AR here. Like the second he spawned driveway, just for this one, he could have pulled an AR. I'm not sure if he had one out or not. Like I can't even see. It looks like he has an SMG out. Yeah, with the way he's sprinting, looks like he has an SMG because it's a pretty. Yeah, he does. Looks like he has an SMG. He definitely could have pulled an AR, especially for the beginning of this setup. You could easily get a kill on anyone in Boston and pick up a sub, but he should have just had an AR, have more confidence, because him along that gap, I mean, it's so crazy because him and number 5 are essentially looking at the exact same thing, but this guy's able to get by and actually get a kill, which should not be happening. Should not be happening at all. So then he gets that kill on number 5. He trades him. So now there's like sort of a gap left open. So now he needs to give up mid now because Draza died. So now he has to give up mid because now MC is getting pressured on the hill. He needs to make sure they don't lose it from front. So a BZ, knowing that, goes to pick up mid, but he's still kind of tweaking about the fence. And something I want to say right here, something I do on this map that I think works pretty well for me, unless the person reads it, but most of the time they're probably not, especially when their team is in the middle of like trying to push. This guy's not gonna like super duper take his time, but honestly most of the time I like stand in the doorway but like slightly outside like this doorway that like a BZ's out. That way I could have a cross, but like I'm close enough that even if I have an SMG and he like walks down the stairs, I'll be able to get the kill before he makes it around the corner, as opposed to like a BZ who kind of just flies in. Didn't even look like he hard aimed it or anything. Like it's like he's tweaking about that. Like he should have just like, he had to like throw, you have to know like someone's there. Am I crazy for that? But he ends up dying there, so that's not good. And now Simp goes back again to pick it up. And here's another thing I actually wanted to point out. So first I'm going to break down the Simp thing, and then I'm going to rewind it to what you're seeing on your screen right now. So here's Simp again. Staring at connector because he got horrible timing the last time, so he's thinking somebody made it by. But standing in an unfavorable spot in the door with like an SMG with like no cover, dies there to Awakening, leaves the gap open, and now a BZ off spawn. A BZ off spawn, knowing that this guy just died. I know you have to like help because like Draza just died, MC's on the hill by himself, but I mean, you gotta maintain like the back. At that point, you kind of gotta. I'm not sure if you should let MC just die, but like he has to know that there's a person pushing on the back. But he's like flying for this kill, so I don't blame him. But I'm not expecting him to read number 2 because he watched the fence line the whole time. But you have to know. Okay, so there's another thing that you have to know about this map. There's so much to break down in this small sequence. It's actually insane. So Hacienda. Back P2. I had someone question my comments, even if I'm anchoring, like, you know, still feel like they're not doing enough. Well, I can tell you right now. So, if you don't have control, if you're not like in this corridor, if you're not inside of it, this spawn is a possibility. You could be anchoring the back. You could be anchoring the back, but if you're not in the corridor, this fence spawn is possible. The only way this fence spawn is not possible is when you're actually pushed up in here. Try it for yourselves in a private match. I swear I'm right. If you're pushed up in the corridor and you have the back spawn blocked, like that spawn's not an option. But he spawned there, and then a BZ doesn't read that. I'm not really expecting it because, you know, it's in the heat of the moment. But, you know, when you play this a million, because I know I would check it, you know, because I know how like spawns work just from watching all this VOD. So I'm expecting players on this level to at least have knowledge of it. Like I know like that guy's already gone. Like at that point, like you're not saving that. Like you might as well just try to like get the battle over here and get the back spawns. At least you could do is like try to keep the back spawns for like your team. There's so 50 seconds in this. You don't need to like you might as well just accept at that point. It doesn't even matter if like you get that. I mean, like he was sprinting to go help him. See like MC, I'm coming to help you. But so like another thing I want to talk about is this was like I feel a lack of communication. I'm gonna play this in fast mode. I'm even gonna put the volume up for this. So this should just me personally, and this one to me is not hindsight. This one to me is not hindsight because this is something I know I do, and I'm thinking if I do it, then there's no way that they should not do it, you know?
First shots.
Okay, let me put the volume down a little bit. So,
Pushing him down.
So Simp gets that kill. MC's on the hill.
Damage.
Simp's going back, so now we're just going to focus on MC, and we're going to focus on Draza, and we're going to focus on number 1. We're not looking at everything else. We already talked about everything else. Number 8, number 1, number 5. So, this guy just threw a stun at the hill. Okay? This guy just threw a stun at the hill. So, obviously, that stun at the hill, you know somebody is there. Your teammate is coming through P5, or I mean, your teammate is coming through P4. The second your teammate pops up right here and still hasn't like shot anyone at this point, and you know the guy just threw a stun right in front of your face on the hill, you have to know he's in the corner. I'm surprised there wasn't a comm of it. I think Draza kind of read it, but MC gotta like I would be on this Lambo, and the second I know my teammates I'm like, and this isn't even hindsight with like the map. You could like literally see your teammate like through the wall. You could see like his name tag through the wall at this point. So now you know your teammate's there. I would be clearing the corner at the same time that he is. By the time he's around here, I'm wide swinging in this corner and taking that guy out. That is, to me, that's not a hindsight play. That is something I know I would do, especially when the guy just threw a stun in my face. Either that or I would think he's in the water. But obviously he's not in the water. He's not going to throw a stun because he wouldn't be able to cross because MC had eyes on it the whole time. So you know he's in this corner. You just threw a stun. Like, where else would the stun come from when your teammate just cleared this P4? So does not check that. He's kind of just not really doing much, and then all this is happening, and then he gets like collapsed on, and they lose this P2. So some sloppy play out of them. Could have been a lot more disciplined. Like, I think it started off with like Chris off spawn when they got the P2 spawns. Should have pulled on AR. Should have pulled on AR. You can even just take a look at the way like Boston holds this, like the way the Atlanta FaZe hold this. So I don't mind someone holding the back. I mean, basically the guy watching the back is basically the guy here. And it was like on like a P1 rotation, so it's a bit different. So like he kind of had to watch that way. But like, don't you notice how Cammy's playing this almost exactly like how I said? He's like standing in the doorway. He's not like going inside. He's just standing inside, has angles on it, and then Atlanta FaZe just cannot do anything about this. Cannot do anything about this. Like, even just bringing up this scoreboard right here after like the first rotation, this is the second P1. They don't troll that P2. It's at least like 150 to like 45, and it's pretty much like can't come back from that, you know. 150 to 45 ain't no way, you know. 110 points against Atlanta FaZe, like the map's over. It's a 3-1. All right, so this P2 was not as bad, but there was a mistake here at the beginning because like they lost the original rotation, which was a good like 20 seconds, 25. They probably could have had like a full hold on this. So I'm going to play it here, and I think this all comes down to number 7, Simp. Doesn't make that many mistakes, but when he makes them, I mean, you know, I could say this happens to everybody, but I think this is like something that he should be doing that he just did not for some reason. So first of all, draws on the hill. I'm thinking after he like sprays these guys, I'm thinking at this point, insta hit that. I don't think you need to be going hard for this fucking 14 seconds of scrap. Let them have it, brother. Let them have it. It's not that deep. Just hit the route, already start clearing it. And number 7 off spawn. Number 7 needs to pick up this P2 side. With 17 seconds left, he needs to pick this up. Abizi's already in the corridor. If Abizi dies, I mean, like, you still have control of the back. The guy still has to come and find you. You could easily, like, hide in the bushes. You could go to the back. You know, that gives you time. It gives time for, like, your teammates to come, but you need to, like, hold that. There's no... and, like, he realizes it, too, which is how I know I'm right. So he goes, he checks the corridor, and then he's like, oh, wait, no, wait. Oh, wait, there's no one on the P2 side? Wait, you're going to see it. Now he's like, oh, shit. Like, and now, by that point, like, he already died. Like, all he had to do was spawn and go on the Lambo, and that guy's gone. Like, you know, that's all he had to do. Like I said, he gave that up. If he's able to get one, so just think, Simp gets this guy on the Lambo. And you know, they probably actually do get control of that. Like if he gets like on the Lambo, he could easily cut through. Number 5 takes up the hill, but they lose that. But they do a good job of breaking it back. But it's a pretty sloppy hold from Boston. It's like just fucking two teams exchanging sloppy holds. So you're gonna see like the aerial view. Don't know what the fuck Cammy's doing. Just laying down like that. You know, it's pretty fresh into P2, so it's not like the fence line. This side's like an unknown thing, you know, like it's early into the hill and P1 was just active, so you know there's gonna be people taking routes. It's usually after like you get like the initial kills, then you know this is not really gonna be an option because they're gonna be spawning in P1 and they're not gonna go around in the middle of P2, but like at the beginning they're gonna like take the initiative. So he was just a free kill right there. He's like, what the hell?
Got the lobby under control.
Free kill. Shits on Awakening in the back.
For a gunfight Awakening.
And now that leaves like the mid open.
Just like that.
Draws up, picks Snoopy off the hill. He's gone. They're able to get that one after like 50, after like 10 seconds.
Just like that. P2 is the best thing there.
Yeah, so Boston basically got 15 seconds. So that could have been an extra 15 for like Atlanta FaZe, like to be honest. And if you look at how the game ended, 250 to 244, you know, that could have went a long way. That could have went a long way.
The phalanx right now. Holy! Nearly gets both in an unbelievable turn of events. Contest is on. Purge is in.
Yeah, they were able to hold this one, and Boston just gave up at this point.
18 to go here on P2, and the dance towards
Boston's crazy for hitting that. Like, Awakening's actually super crazy for hitting that. But I mean, might as well try because you're gonna like, you know, might as well try. So it's like a small example, not really gonna fault anyone here, but just showing you guys an example of how like even the small set timings mean so much. So off spawn here. So off spawn here, a number 7. His slight hesitation for some reason, I don't even know why. He should just be gung-ho going that way. Shouldn't even be staring this way. But his slight hesitation going towards P3 and then going, oh, no, I got to go this way, I think cost him in the gunfight against Wake. So, like, you'll see him go up. He should have kept going straight. But instead, he goes towards P3. He's like, oh, what the heck? I shouldn't be doing that. And I think that slight second he missed, like, that slight second could have got him, like, ahead. Like, you know, like that slight second probably could have already got him up to like here by now. And boom, like that guy's already gone, you know? But that slight, oh, I don't even know why he went that way. He should have just been gung-ho going that way. But then that one big gunfight from Big Wake gets him spawning all the way out. And now he's not there to help with like the trades on P4. He's responsible for picking up the pinch. And, like, MC was staring at the pinch while he was spawning up there because he thought this was going to be a horrible timing. I think it was, like, too early for that spawn, but actually, no, it actually wasn't. Then after he is watching the pinch, his whole team gets traded on the hill. Not even gonna critique that. Like that's just a matter of like timings on like the hill, like literally which way you're looking. And then Simp, after his team dies, he hits a pretty great route. But I'm thinking he should have told his teammates to just hold up a bit, wait until I'm up top. Maybe they communicate. I didn't know. But he was there a second earlier, draws is alive, and then they probably get number 1. Now you have number 7 and number 5 all collapsing on the hill at the same time as number 6. Probably works out. Maybe it doesn't, but who knows. But Boston gets all this time. They just super soaked P4, which was great for them. That was a great break of trades and a great hold. Another P2 from Atlanta FaZe. We're going to break this one down. This one's a lot more simple, and this was just like burger. This was just burger play after burger play, I'm not going to lie. So there were some good plays in the beginning, and then they got the hold, and then it was just a burger from there. So BZ off spawn takes the P2 route. Not one person picks it up. He goes to pick it up a bit too late, but I mean, not really like a bit too late. Anyways, my bad. So BZ playing a great corner, gets a kill. Draza is able to get the guy in the back. Great angle from him. Able to get that kill. Slides on him, I think. Just shits on him. And then BZ anticipates that, gets that. Now they have a full setup again on P2. It doesn't even matter if that guy's over here. They have a full setup. I'm thinking with 8 pushed up here and 7 pushed up here, you should know they're all spawning on this side. Like, just where these two are, they're all going to spawn on this side. So there's no sense in watching this shit anymore. And then, the most mind-blowing thing to me, there's a streak in the air. The only one susceptible to this streak, to be honest, is a BZ. Why not run into connector? Like, you're staring and you know there's basically nobody there. Like, right when the streak's about to drop, why not just go into connector? He tries to go last second. He dies. And then MC, for reasons unknown why he's not just holding an angle, decides to hard shell the whole entire team. And then draws on the hill by himself, just gets broken. And then Simps, just the last guy, so he goes in, he gets traded. And now they're all in the back and they hold it. Just complete. And I don't know why Simp keeps checking this. I don't know what their obsession is with this fucking fence line. Give it up, bro. Like, you already pushed up here. Like, dude, they got, like, the 4 down, like, a long time ago. Like, right here, they got the 4 down. By the time they got this, like, 7 was already here. Like, they were already at the well. 8 was already pushed up. This guy's already, he's pushed up in mid already. No one's spawning on this side, okay? No one's spawning on this side no more. If you play this map enough times, it's pretty easy, like, to know. Pretty easy to know. So, like, again, Abizi with, like, the streak. Just go into connector with Draza. You can come right out. All good. I guess. And then Boston breaks them. And they have them all in the back. And this is a great heads-up play from Purge. So Purge actually fucking gets another one, too. He gets great timing on Abizi and, like, the connector. Like, that connector could be messed up sometimes. And then I want to just play the great comms from Purge here, relaying info to his team. I actually thought it was great. So he was holding the back spawn for like a bit, and then he's like, yo, they're all just gonna fucking hit like the back because I haven't seen anyone. There was a chance of horrible timing, but ain't no way Line of FaZe is gonna sit back there for like fucking 10 seconds. So immediately he goes to help because he didn't get any info here. He was hard aiming it for like a bit, didn't see anyone. Now he's like, okay, I'm going back to the front side to help my team because they're all going to hit front. And if a guy does hit this, like, we'll pick him up later. I was hard aiming this for a while. This last guy's probably gonna take a while. To close off the game, this P4 hold was just, we're gonna chalk it up to bad communication from like Atlanta FaZe. So they actually get great time from P3, but then like they end up giving Boston the rest because Boston had control of it. They're taking the gamble. They're saying we're just gonna stop at P4. We just need 10 seconds. It's over. You know, and they did everything right. So they get this kill, and I don't know. A team with such great comms, like their comms have improved greatly, especially coming off of a P3-2. I don't know why no one's fucking picking this shit up. You know, like the P2 side's obviously already covered, not really much of a threat at the moment. If they do come this way, easy trade, whatever. Mid picked up. I guess it's up to MC at this point, like just seeing where everyone is, but somebody gotta pick this shit up. Doesn't matter if number 5's back here because number 5 has the deep pinch. There is a close pinch. We already know if you play this map even twice or even once, like just like the P3, the people that spawn there always take a route through mid. Like that's like an obvious route now. Like this route off spawn through under U to P1 back through. That's an obvious route. Which means someone got to watch this side. Nobody picked it up. Not one person picked it up. We see everyone readjusting. They're all just tweaking, all watching the same corners. No one's watching the one side that they should watch. And he hops in. And just that one kill he's able to get ruins the whole thing. That one kill. If they get that kill, it's over. But he's able to take one with them, and now Snoopy slides. He pisses on fucking Simp, to be honest. Like, I honestly don't even think like you have to be like really wide swinging, because it'd be different if it was early in the game. But 240, I mean, that's a crazy route. And if they do take it, it's so easy to kill them on like the P2 side. Like this side's so easy. There's like no cover on that side. Like that's like a side. It's okay if they contest, but like nobody picked up the one side they're supposed to. The guy just snuck by. He opened it, and then Snoopy slides in, gets two. Crazy two from Snoopy, by the way. Just slides in on him. Jumps on that guy. And then
These
they end
guys
up
are just
holding
full
this.
sent. I mean, they're just sprinting. Draza trying to make a heads-up play here on the pinch. He's wanting to
Draza
time this
taking
with his
forever
teammates
on
for
the
game.
pinch, and
Yeah,
then he
look at this.
decides
Here we
like
go. Lead
not to
change.
pinch.
One more break, so it's gonna
And then
take
he
Purge with
walks
a sweet
right
corner.
by
All
Purge,
bases
and
covered.
Purge gets
That's
up
the
and
mid-map
kills
scene.
him.
Eyes towards the front. The contest is done.
And
We
then
lead
it's
the
over from
change.
there.
Zip through side door.
Just no one
And
picking up
we
that
have
gap, and
got
they
a
lose the
game
map.
5.
God, that rhymed bars.
Unbelievable, these guys.
Yeah, but that's the breakdown of the Hacienda. It's pretty easy fixes. Every time they've lost this map to LA Thieves. I haven't gone over the Vancouver one. I think that one was more of a beatdown. That's probably like their biggest beatdown on Hossie was coincidentally against Vancouver ball teams. Might have to go back and break down that one. But against every other team, it's like small, minor mistake. It's not even minor. I mean, like those P2 holds are really crucial. Like they need to tighten that up. They need to go back to the lab for those ones. And then like the P4 thing is a pretty small mishap. Like they held like the first P4 pretty much like the whole time. Then we went over the second one. Boston held the whole time. That hill is pretty hard to break sometimes. They probably had a chance to break it, but just some slight probably non-communication in like mid. You know, they could have broken it there. But great from Boston. Great play from Boston. I always thought Boston was pretty bad at Hacienda. I mean, this could have been a 160 to 40 at the beginning. But great for Boston for punishing Atlanta FaZe for their stupid mistakes. That's great on Boston. That's a great sign to have when you could be good enough of a team to punish a team for their mistakes. Because usually, like we see, like the Vancouver Surge, LAT Grand Final, like the minor 2 tourney. Like Vancouver made some mistakes, and like the S&D, LAT was right there to punish them. Whatever mistakes Vancouver made, they were being punished because that's what good teams have to do is punish you for their mistakes. So back to the lab for both teams, honestly, because I think Boston does have to tighten up on their Hacienda. It could be a great map in their pool. They have some work to do on this because they've gone fortunate a few times on this map, but against a different teams, they got unlucky one time against LAG, but it is a map that if they tighten it up, work on some few things, that their P2s need to be better because not every team is going to be trolling holds. Like they do need to work on their rotational wins of P2 as well. And yeah, I mean, there's things for everyone to work on.